Welcome to Reddit Reader. People who live in a rural area out in the country. What will city folk never understand? This doesn't go for all small town, but the one I live in, there is no law enforcement. We fall under the jurisdiction of a neighboring town, but it's like 45 minutes away, so the people out here just deal with incidents on their own. To be honest though, it's pretty rare that any instances occur. This right here, so many city people get all look those dumb rednecks when we talk about taking care of our own. We've got one officer on duty for our 60 square mile township. If something happens, it's probably going to be a while before they get there. Even if he isn't tied up with a DV or an overdose in one of the trailer parks, he usually is. We passed a levee and now we've got two duty on Friday and Saturday nights, both still running ragged in the parks. My neighbors and I called in a guy high on meth that tried to rob me at gunpoint at my own damn gate. We chased him down and had him surrounded on foot in the middle of the state route while he waved a gun and buck knife at us, and the cars kept trying to get through. Dispatch casually told me to keep there if we could. It'll be a while. 30 minutes for a state boy to arrive. Another 10 for our township officer. Farmer working in the field across the road came over and knocked the shit out of the guy so we could get the unloaded, thankfully, gun and knife away from him. And none of it was a big deal. Just neighbors helping neighbors. Business as usual for the police. The dark. In a city at night, you can read a book outside. In the country, on a cloudy or no moon night, you can't see anything. Not like it's kinda hard to see, but it's so dark you might as well be blind. The stars and gravity are the only way to know which direction is up. Also, a clear night sky in places that get truly dark like that is something my vocabulary can't describe. When a road sign says last gas for however many kilometers, it means it. Yeah, we get so many people who drive through here asking if it really is the last gas station for miles. The answer is yes. Some don't believe us, and we see them again when they get towed to the mechanics across the street for running out of gas and ruining their engine by trying to make it to the next one. Others do, and they stock up, and we never see them again. I work at that gas station, and it's pretty interesting seeing just how many people pass through but don't realize they're in a town. It's like Radiator Springs from Cars, but in Ohio. We have pretty much everything we need besides a grocery store, but it's all run down and falling apart. Seeing deer isn't a special occasion. Those f***ers are always showing up. The extent of our pantries and freezers. We can't just run to the store to pick up that forgotten ingredient or spur of the moment craving. But if we're well stocked, we can whip up just about anything. Small towns aren't one size fits all. There's a lot of difference. The town I'm from has 300-ish people and hits every single negative stereotype imaginable. But an hour away, there's a town of 1,500 that is basically the poster child for good country living. I've also found they don't understand the physical toll working in certain trades can take. Also, driving an hour isn't considered a long trip where I'm from. The reality is your neighbors are nosy little f***ers. They don't have a life and want to know what goes on in others. My dad grew up in central Missouri. He still owns the house, and down the road a ways he owns about 200 acres. He lives about 2 hours away. I live about 5 hours away. Once or twice a year, my family and I will head down to the property when my dad's down there working on it. Without fail, every time the neighbor who lives about a half-mile down the road comes up on his four-wheeler to see what's going on. My dad tells me that the week after I come down, the old man comes over and says, "Sure were a lot of people down here last week." Yep, both my dad's car and my car drove past his house to get to our property. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and subscribe so you don't miss our next upload.